watching the TV, Chief?" And he's like, "Yeah." So, "The rioters are getting really close. Have you talked to the president?" He said, "No, he wants to be alone right now." Still looking at his phone. And I remember Pat saying to him something to the effect of, "The rioters have gotten to the Capitol, Mark. We need to go down and see the president now." And Mark looked up at him and said, "He doesn't want to do anything, Pat." I remember Pat saying something to the effect of, "Mark, we need to do something more. They're literally calling for the vice president to be effing hung." And Mark had responded something to the effect of, "You heard him, Pat. He thinks Mike deserves it."
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and we've got another primetime January 6th hearing coming up this Thursday, and I can't wait to hear what kind of bombshell revelations drop live. It sounds like part of that is going to include the text message exchanged between Secret Service members.
Earlier last week, the IG revealed that after requesting pertinent records from the Secret Service for a probe into the insurrection, the agency said that text messages from January 5th and 6th had been accidentally erased when the phones were reset as part of a device replacement program.
And of course, all of this is made difficult with Trump's frantic efforts to destroy evidence, intimidate witnesses, and of course, flush down files in the toilet. Likewise, these Secret Service text messages from January 5th and 6th were accidentally erased. How convenient.
We need them, and we expect to get them by this Tuesday. I was shocked to hear that they didn't back up their data before they reset their iPhones. That's crazy. I don't know why that would be.
I think we're going to know more Tuesday. It is quite crazy that the Secret Service would actually end up deleting anything related to one of the more infamous days in American history, particularly when it comes to the role of the Secret Service.
But right now, the committee is optimistic that these messages can be recovered, which no doubt makes the putrid orange slime slither with anger and fear. And I have a hunch that these text messages may just be the tip of the iceberg on Thursday night.
A new witness for the January 6th committee. CNN has learned that former Trump National Security Council official Matthew Pottinger will testify publicly at the next committee hearing in prime time on Thursday. Pottinger resigned in the immediate aftermath of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. He will appear alongside former Trump White House aide Sarah Matthews.
Both of these people resigned in the immediate aftermath of January 6th, so they're not likely to be very friendly witnesses to Donald Trump or what happened there on January 6th. They are likely to be able to, they won't be mincing words, we don't expect, whenever they're testifying.
We've seen shocking evidence come out with each and every hearing, and a primetime hearing is likely going to pack a punch that's going to send these fascists packing and get the Arrest Trump Now hashtag trending on Twitter. And I love that hashtag, but I'm counting the days until it becomes past tense and Agent Orange is wearing orange behind bars.
But we do know from the committee members who've been previewing this hearing over the weekend and recent days that they want to take us inside the White House, minute by minute. 187 minutes in total where Donald Trump was doing nothing. They are going to hope to illustrate that, not just with these live witnesses, but with witnesses that they have videotaped. We've been seeing all of these depositions. There are lots of people that were in the White House that day that have sat for testimony. So all of that is going to come together in this primetime hearing.
We can all imagine how this soulless narcissist reacted to the events of losing the election behind the scenes, how he responded behind closed doors when Pence did not overthrow the government by rejecting the vote as Trump commanded him. And we wonder about his actions during those periods of utter silence when violent maniacs were besieging our Capitol. But thanks to these hearings, little is left to imagination. We're getting a deep insight into the troubled and poisoned psyche of the mentally unstable former president. Trump threw temper tantrums that would impress 2-year-olds, throwing dishes and splashing ketchup over the White House walls. We're learning that Trump is not only as detached from reality as we thought, as hostile and violent as we suspected, and as evil as we believed, but actually even much more so. That this is a picture of a man who is clinically unstable, criminally liable, and completely insane. You know, I'm happy to hold the funny opinion that our elected officials should be held to pretty high standards, and the office of the presidency should be the highest standards and the lowest margin of tolerance. Through these hearings, we've seen not only how horrifically unfit Donald Trump was, not only that he broke his oath of office, but that he is every bit criminally accountable for the act of seditious conspiracy. So much so that we might as well throw out the criminal code if Trump isn't convicted, because his crime fits the definition of seditious conspiracy perfectly. So in the future, Webster's dictionary will simply have to put Trump's picture in the dictionary under the term. So I hope you all tune in on Thursday night to learn what we can about these Secret Service text messages, to find out what other evidence will be revealed, but most of all because it is all of our civic duty to thoroughly understand and remember this abuse of power. Because this is historic level abuse. Benedict Arnold has been replaced by a more egregious traitor in the form of the wretched snake called Donald Trump. Fascism is something we vowed would never see the light of day in America, and we've got to hold ourselves to that conviction. And the way we do that is by convicting Donald Trump. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.